Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
Hello.
Hey, Lauren. How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm well.
Yeah.
I heard I was out with some friends over the weekend.
Yeah.
And somebody was sitting next to me that I've known for a long time, but I don't know as well.
Okay.
We were listening to somebody else talk.
Yep.
And somebody used good when
Good
they
and
should
well.
have said well. And from right behind me, I heard her say well. Like she could. I
do that too.
leaned over and I said,
I know.
I had no. I'm usually the only one who does that. I'm so glad that
so
there's
funny.
somebody else in this
That's
little
so funny.
in this little group
Yeah.
of people that
That's so funny.
that notices that and cannot keep
Resist.
themselves from saying from making that little correction, even if you know that the person who said it wrong isn't going to hear you.
No,
You're
no.
just
You have to say it.
compelled
Yeah,
to
sure.
say it. To say it
You have to
correctly.
say, if they say more and they mean fewer, you have to say fewer.
Yeah.
You have to. I have to. Instagram. Find us on Instagram. You'll search Wilder Show Pod and then like and all that stuff. If you want to send us email, it goes to podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops. Still cool to say that. More than 100 episodes later.
Sounds pretty hip. I got to tell you.
Yeah. Drops Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, on the TikTok now and again, or wherever you get your podcasts. You will find us there, and we invite you to like and rate and follow and subscribe and share. And thanks.
Podcasts. They're just what we have now.
That's what they said on the
It was on the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes.
Yeah, the Golden
That's funny.
Globes, which we didn't talk about
No, we didn't
beforehand.
predict.
Which really it's kind of I didn't see the Critics' Choice Awards. I kind of missed them, but this is the beginning of my favorite time of the year. It
Right.
is awards season.
I thought you were saying there's NASCAR, the Super Bowl, and NASCAR is coming up
No,
for
I'll let you
Daytona
have all
on
that.
February the 15th.
I will let you have all
And
that. It's awards.
Just
season.
give me the people getting little trophies. That's good enough. Okay.
There was so
Well,
they
we get trophies too in the sporting world.
You do.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
They award for the first time ever. There was a Golden Globe given to the best podcast,
I saw that.
and they did a sort of a bit as a ramp up to the presentation of the award. And it'd be too much for me to try to describe.
It's funny, though.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It was very funny, and that was the tag. It's a podcast. They're just what we have now.
So it's not movies. It's not TV. It's podcasts.
It's not even really radio.
That's
I think
funny.
It's kind of
That's
what
right.
the yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's dive into some things. Uprising in Iran, comment there. Greenland update, something there. And then Minnesota shooting and some things that we didn't know that we know now. And some perspective on that. And we'll do that coming up in mere moments. The uprising in Iran, there are really two kinds of leaders there in Iran. You know this. The elected leader, that is to say the civil leader, and then the real leader, and that is the religious leader, the faith leader. That's the one that they are protesting for the 15th day now. It's the Ayatollah. Remember, we used to be an Ayatollah Khomeini, and then he was followed by this one, which is the Ayatollah Khamenei.
Oh,
So it's not just a mispronunciation. They are different people.
gotcha.
Look about the same, most part. But the Ayatollah Khamenei, he is the one in charge, and he is the one that they are saying, that some are saying, it's being reported, that they want to boot, overthrow, kick out. Hundreds have been killed, the protesters. They cut off the internet there. The internet was cut off. And, in the old days, I used to think that the internet was what the people inside a country, the news that they could get from the outside. Like if you're in North Korea.
It's more than that, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting news of the outside world.
Yeah.
But it is actually sending news
Right.
to the outside world about what's going on. And so they cut the internet cords. But what's Skylink? Isn't Skylink, that's Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
There are some people, some Skylink subscribers that were able to get word out. So some of the videos that you've seen, we would not know were it not for Elon Musk. Yeah, but it's to get the word out to other people. Hundreds have been killed, as I said, and then the first executions, the hanging from cranes. Did you see Homeland, the movie or the series?
I didn't know.
Oh, man, that is brutal. Yeah. But that's what that was all about. It was about what they do to people like that. And so these are the people that are protesting against. And will that happen? I believe by the time you listen to this, perhaps it might have already happened. Anyway, now President Trump is saying he's considering attacking there or an attack there. And again, things could be different by the time you even listen to this. So, as they used to say, breaking news changes everything. But that is where we are right now in the uprising in Iran. And this could be good for the people of Iran, not the uprising, not the hangings, but not the people that are being shot and murdered on the street. But if they can really result in significant change, it could be good for the people of Iran. And if it's good for the people of Iran, I think if it goes in the right direction, it's good for the world. Greenland. Here's the update. We're still not going to invade Greenland, just as we said last time. And it's not going to happen. Actually, here's the update for the same reasons that we said last time. So what is the update? Honestly, just the rhetoric of the president. He's so silly the way he does things sometimes. He says, we'll acquire it one way or another. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Well, what would be the hard way if we're not going to invade?
I think he's threatening to invade. We are not going to invade. We can. He wants to say he can do whatever he wants to do. But no, we are not going to, no matter what he says. But you know how he does this. He threatens stuff, and then later he backs off, and he calls that the art of the deal, and all negotiations and all that. Anyway, he says we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. He did say Greenland's defense is 2 dog sleds.
Well, that's just silly.
So disrespectful. So everybody knows they have dozens of dog sleds.
No.
But, Denmark would come. Anyways, don't even worry about that. It's not even going to happen. Now, I think there will be some deal cut, be an acquisition. We go back to the last podcast. If you want to, go back to podcast episode number 109, where we have a little bit of learning there at the beginning. Or as they say in Minneapolis, leering from the
the Leering Center.
From the Somalian Leering Center. Can I give you 3 things that appear not to be attached, but might?
Sure.
Maybe only in my mind. Gentle parenting, faith deconstruction, and the Minnesota shooting.
Okay.
How about that? A follow-up on Minnesota, what we know now that we did not know on Friday. First, a correction. I had said that the ICE officer, the ICE agent that had experienced something like this 6 months ago, it was not a protest. It turns out it was a traffic stop. So he was alongside, not in front of, he was alongside a vehicle with the driver's side window rolled down.
Okay.
And as a result of the people driving away, they did drag him 400 feet.
Were they driving away in the middle of this, like to get away?
To get away, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had been stopped.
Yeah.
An immigration stop. And they drove away. And either his arm was stuck in the window or something, and he was dragged 400 feet and did get 30 some odd stitches. So this thing that happened in Minnesota, it also involved that car being a risk to other law enforcement officers. Do you remember the way it played out? You had one of his fellow officers at the window.
Yeah.
Now think about what might have been on his mind. Hey, you know what? Last time I was at a window, that car dragged me 100 feet. I don't want that to happen to my fellow officer. Anyway, you don't know. There's so much we don't know. What we do know is she was asked to stop the car and to get out of the vehicle, and she didn't do it. That we do know. Anyway, that is a correction and an update on the ICE agent. The woman driving, the one that was shot and killed, she had her car parked. This is, again, things we didn't know last Friday. She had her car parked in the roadway, blocking the flow of traffic for at least 3 minutes. Cars are honking for her to move. Law enforcement approaches in vehicles. They tell her to move. but her partner, the other woman, is outside the car. She's recording on her phone, and she is being verbally aggressive toward ICE agents. She's waiting for the taunting woman to get in the car. So the woman driving is not going to drive away and leave her partner there outside the car.
Sure.
She's waiting to get her partner in the car. And when she gets in the car, she says, the partner that had been videotaping outside, and he said, you go get lunch, buddy, and we'll see you in a little bit or something like that.
And she was saying, we're staying. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you go get some lunch.
You go get lunch.
Yeah, and you come back. We'll be here. So she says, drive, baby. And then the other woman, the one that was shot, at that point, she does accelerate forward. She does strike the agent, who then fired the first shot through the windshield of the vehicle. So two things we know now that we didn't know then. I think we did know on Friday that the first shot was fired through the front of the windshield. Because I remember saying, you can't fire a shot through the front of the windshield if you're not in front of the car. So the other shots, no, came from the side or at an angle. But the first one did come from the front. We know that now. I think we knew that then. Could have surmised that then. But one of the things we do know, because with the video that we got, we saw it from his perspective. He is impacted by the car. The car makes contact with him before the gun goes off.
Was he wearing a body camera or no? We thought he was at first, but he was not. Was he?
It was a cell phone.
Okay.
It was a cell phone. So he had a cell phone on, he was holding a cell phone. She's videoing the other one. She's got her camera on him outside the vehicle as she walks around the vehicle after him and talks to him about what's going on. And he is also videotaping her.
And why was he videotaping her?
Probably for protection. Mm-hmm. I mean, not for fun. Mm-hmm. He's not doing it.
No, I didn't think it was fun.
He's not to post. He's not posting it to social media.
No, I know. Was that his job at that point to be videotaping her, or I'm just curious?
Yeah, I do know that those ICE agents don't have body camera capability.
Is it none of them do?
I think that's what I read, that none of them do. They're not like local law enforcement in that they have the body camera little thing attached to their chest. So why did this happen? First, I want to talk about something that appears to be unrelated, but I think it applies. I was fed a video in social media of a young man, maybe in his mid to late 20s. He was explaining why he is leaving the Christian faith.
Okay.
What do they call that? Faith deconstruction, right? Deconstruction.
I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Now, he was clearly very smart, very well-read, thoughtful, respectful. He made his case. He made it well for those who might not know enough to consider where he might be wrong. One of the big reasons that he gave, that there were things that he had been taught as he was raised in the church, and increasingly as he got older, he found that what he believed was different from what it means to be a Christian.
Okay.
He's not hostile to Christianity. He just rejects it as being true, and he is deconstructing. And here's what stood out to me in what he said. And I could not accept that, meaning the Christian way, anymore, because I have never been a divine command theorist.
Okay.
Okay, what is divine command theory? It's really pretty simple.
If I were going to guess,
go.
I would say that it is the belief that there is a right and a wrong that comes from what we're told by the divine. It's more than just what you feel in your heart or what some other human maybe tells you is right or wrong. It comes from God, from the Almighty.
That's right. That's exactly right. Pretty simple. It is a belief that some things are right or wrong, whether you understand them or not, whether you agree or not, simply because the divine says that they are. In other words, because God says so.
Yeah.
So even if you don't understand, if you can't figure it out, even if you think you figured it out and you disagree with him, even if you've never even considered whatever it is that you're instructed as to right or wrong, the theory is that it is right or it is wrong just because God says it is. That's the divine command theory. And this very smart guy is making a case, and he can't accept something is wrong just because God says so. Now, I'd have no idea if he is a product of gentle parenting. I have no idea. Where everything is a negotiation, where you need agreement from the child in order to get compliance, where because I'm your mother, that's why, is never enough. That's sort of a worldly example or an earthly example of the divine command theory. And many people say that that authority, as they respect or do not respect that authority, at some point will sort of bleed out in other ways. You might not respect civil authority. You might not respect police. You might not ultimately respect God. If everything has to be something you agree with, which is the rejection of, because I'm your mother, that's why. I don't know if he was brought up that way, but I would guess that if anyone were raised that way, it, I think, would be easier to reject the divine command theory. I rejected the authority of my parents because I disagreed with them, and I reject the authority of God because I disagree with him. And between the two, or in addition to that, perhaps I reject the authority of civil law because I don't agree with it. I believe that these people should be allowed to stay. I believe that you are not a legitimate law enforcement authority. It doesn't matter what the law says. I don't agree with it. If I don't agree with it, then I don't have any obligation to follow it. It is all about me. That is sort of one of the things it comes with. It's not the sole thing of gentle parenting, but gentle parenting is not just, I don't spank my child every day before they go to school. Gentle parenting does have a great deal to do with the negotiation process and feelings and agreement with directives that are given from the parent to the child. Mm-hmm. And so I just wonder about the divine command theory.
This young man, he said he rejects, he's deconstructing his Christian faith because he is not a divine command theorist.
That's right.
So he's not saying that he doesn't respect the laws of the land, right?
No, that's right.
It's just that he believes they're based on something other than what we're told by God.
This guy has nothing to do with Minnesota, what happened, or ICE, or disregarding or disrespecting authority. Mm-hmm. That's a separate thing we'll get to in a second. I'm just talking about the divine command theory, which is, do you have an obligation to acknowledge the truth of something with which you disagree? Do you have an obligation to obey something or follow the directive that is something that cannot be negotiated? And the answer is yes, in the divine. What is sin? What is not sin? What is right? What is wrong? I'm talking about what is true, what is not true, with a capital T. Those things have nothing to do with how I feel about them. They have nothing to do with whether I agree with them. Mm-hmm. They are what they are, not because I have said that they are, but because God has said that they are. Yeah. There are things like that no matter what I think about it, it is right or it is wrong based on what he says it is. And now the question is, am I going to follow that or am I not?
Yeah. There's really nowhere in the Bible that we're just told to do something or not do something without some really great illustration of why we should or shouldn't do that thing. I think probably you as a parent never said, because I said so, that's why, until it was a last resort, something you had already explained. You wanted them to understand why.
Oh, sure.
I'm talking about when you're teaching them things, when you're teaching them about why we do things a certain way. Yeah. I'm not talking about a negotiation. I'm talking about teaching.
I have no idea if he was a product of gentle parenting. And I'm not even saying this applies for him. He was not saying anything about civil authority. But in that world where everything does become a negotiation with the child, it almost is like peer-like. That the child and the parent are peers, and the child needs to come along with us. And can you see how it'd be better if you didn't hit your sister in the face? At some point, you just have to enforce it. And even if they don't agree, compliance is demanded, where because I told you to, that's why has to be enough. Because I'm your mother, at some point, that has to be enough. If it's not enough, I mean, I don't know if he was ever brought up that way. It's not really the point. If it's true what we're told, that being a parent is to model for your child authority, and their respect or lack of respect for you might also carry beyond just the two of you. It might carry to civil authorities. Mm-hmm. It might carry to God himself. They tell me I can't do this, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't agree with that. I reject that. Anyway, back to how or why this thing happened in Minnesota. There is a tone, there is a tenor in society about whether law enforcement should be trusted, whether their instructions should be followed. Liberals shout for immigration enforcement to be resisted, and that those who are enforcing the law are like the Nazi jackbooted thugs. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Well, if you were going to encounter the Nazi jackbooted thugs, what should be your responsibility? What should you do? Should you just do what the Nazi enforcers tell you to do? No, you shouldn't do that. It's that rhetoric. That rhetoric comes to roost, that kind of language. It breeds disrespect, disobedience, resistance, and sometimes that leads to really, really bad things. When you're talking about those things against law enforcement, stop deportation, stop the raids, get ICE out of our communities. When people hear those things over and over and over again, like when they hear that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, they liken him to Hitler. When you hear those things over and over and over again, when you know the local authorities, in the case of Minnesota, are restricted from standing alongside federal authorities, which is a result of the whole thing with George Floyd, which is we're 5 years away from that now. And because of that, they don't stand with federal authorities. And when you know that these communities and these cities and even some states declare themselves sanctuary cities, which means by definition, they refuse to enforce the law. They know the law, and they know that in this case, the divine command comes from the people who they are supposed to serve. They're the ones who originate those laws, but if they are not divine command theorists and they don't agree with the law, they're just going to disobey it. And that's the way they talk about it. And it's not a surprise that in some of these places, it goes very, very badly. I saw Governor Abbott talking about what could happen here. Did you hear his quote? Did you see what his quote was?
No, I didn't.
Texas is not Minnesota. So you might not want to try that here. It's not going to go well here. We're going to clamp down on it early. Anyway, that is a sort of a long way to try and tie a couple of things together. Don't know if I did that successfully or not, but gentle parenting, faith deconstruction, the Minnesota shooting. I don't know. I mean, I look at, it's very sad what happened to this woman. I did see that her partner made like over a millionaire now. 34,000 people donated to the little GoFundMe thing.
That's not a little GoFundMe.
Yeah, no, it's a whole bunch of people. And then, of course, the other side has to say, we're going to do that for the officer because, frankly, he's going to be the one sued by this, surviving person. I'm sure, right? Going to sue Trump. She'll sue everybody. She's already got $1.3 million or whatever it is. Anyway, it's a bass-ackwards world. I got to tell you, it's just crazy. Oh, it's time for scatter shoot.
Let's go.
Wilder shows scatter shoot. All right. If you have not liked, rated, and all that, do it now. Do it right now. Just reach down there and thumbs up or whatever is the button on wherever you're listening. Thumbs up or like or whatever. Comment. Somebody said last week we were talking about nicknames. I think somebody said, "Hey, great show, Lori and Scotty."
That's very sweet.
Thanks. So anyway, yeah, you say something like that. That's okay. Or say more Lauren, less Scott. Whatever you want. I don't care. Just make a comment. It really does help in getting this out to more people. So here we go with the scatter shoot.
You will want to go to Target to get the latest Barbie for your collection.
Okay. Well, I do have a massive collection of Barbies.
Extensive Barbie collection.
Yes.
She was introduced by Mattel yesterday, the newest member of its line, intended to celebrate diversity.
Okay.
It's an autistic Barbie.
Autistic Barbie.
Yeah.
That's under diversity.
It is.
Huh.
It is. They
Okay.
developed the autistic doll in partnership with the Autistic Self Advocacy Network.
Okay.
They advocate for the rights and better media representation of all people with autism. So
Okay.
they had a goal in mind. They wanted this Barbie to reflect some of the ways that autistic people may experience and process the world around them, but it was a challenge. And I thought about this before I even got to this, this part of the explanation.
Yeah.
It was really difficult because autism encompasses a really broad
Yeah, it does.
range of behaviors.
I didn't think we still talked about autism. I thought we talked about just spectrum.
People on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think we named autism anymore. Look, as much I don't know.
Or neurodivergence.
Everything's complicated.
No, this
Okay,
actually
this is the autism
it
Barbie.
talks about autism. Yeah, many
Do they call it that? They call it the autism Barbie? They really do.
They really do.
Huh. We worked with people that have leprosy in other countries. And one of the things that was very clear as I would go to Africa again and again and again.
This was so interesting to me too.
Is the Bible even talks about the leper. Jesus healed the leper. The 10 lepers came to Jesus, and in that community, that is an insulting way to refer to someone. That's what we found, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes away the dignity of the person, the dignity of the human. They directed us to say people with leprosy, someone with leprosy.
That's right.
Yeah, rather than a leper or
because they are a person first.
That's right.
Like Barbie is a doll first. She's a doll on the spectrum.
Maybe that's why it's all okay to call her autistic Barbie.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say
it
no to
does
that.
seem kind of awkward.
Yeah, and
doesn't it?
I'll ask a really insensitive question, though I don't mean it that way. So if my intent matters, it shouldn't be a problem. Do they call? And we had I don't ever seem to be sliding it. What was it? There was another Barbie in this diversity collection.
With type 1 diabetes.
That's right. I was going to say low blood pressure, but that's not right.
No.
Type 1 diabetes Barbie.
The blood pressure Barbie would be like our age.
That's right. Exactly.
Much older.
That's exactly
Barbie.
right. Did they call it disability?
That was another
thought I
thing
saw
that
that.
I thought they do.
I thought I saw that.
They do.
So I didn't think we were supposed to say that
yeah,
anymore.
it's like many disabilities, autism doesn't look any one way. And they're speaking to the challenge of designing this Barbie.
To make it look like an autistic Barbie.
For instance, they didn't know how, it was a challenge to decide how to dress the Barbie. Because for some people with autism, they wear loose clothes because they're sensitive to the feel of the fabric against their skin.
Okay.
While others prefer to wear like figure hugging garments
you
because
do that?
certain people
Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, how would you do that?
Pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah. So what they decided is that this Barbie is wearing an A-line dress with short sleeves and a flowy skirt that provides less fabric to skin contact.
What else is there about the? I'm just going to call what they call it. What else is there about the autistic Barbie? How did they make it where you look at it and go, that Barbie is on the spectrum?
She has a pink finger clip fidget spinner.
Oh, yeah, I played with those.
Noise-canceling headphones.
Okay.
And a pink tablet that's modeled after devices that I guess some autistic people who struggle to speak use to communicate. Again, it would be, man, it just seems, in the same way that it seems like it would have ever been hard. This is why we have so many Barbies, because one Barbie doesn't look like every girl. She looks like hardly any girls. So they started to, this seems like a microcosm of that. If autism presents differently in
you got to do a bunch of different
people, how would you
autism 1,
ever,
autism 2, autism 3. Is there something about it? I thought I heard this driving in. Is there something about, and this part I didn't really understand at all. They said that Barbie, this sounds so weird because you're talking about a doll, that the doll is not making eye contact. But the Barbie sort of looks down and away, but doesn't every doll look you in the eye when you just turn its head?
Well,
right?
No, you're right. The eyes of the new Barbie shift slightly to the side to represent how some people with autism, not all people with
of course. All
autism,
right.
but some people with autism sometimes avoid direct eye
That's really
contact.
interesting.
Yeah.
When you think about, and again, for those of us who don't have this in our families, and we know that many people do. I mean, I'm related to people that have neurodivergent children.
Uh-huh.
Isn't neurodivergent also part of the? Isn't that
I
an
think
umbrella
that you
under which
can
all this?
explain,
I don't know.
You can describe someone with autism as being
Neurodivergent,
neurodivergent,
okay.
but I don't know if everyone who is considered to be neurodivergent is on the autism spectrum.
All right. Well, anyway,
it could be, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't ever want to seem to be dismissive of it, but it is sort of weird. I think to have a doll. A doll is a thing that you look at.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're
Well, look at or play with.
Well, no, what I mean to say is it's not. There's not words coming from the Barbie that could have the other ways that you might experience someone on the spectrum. It's answering the question: what are the characteristics, the visual characteristics of spectrum Barbie?
Yeah.
Well, she has to do this. She has to do this. She has to look like this. She has to look down and away. She has to have the noise canceling headphones and the thing, and either the tight clothes or the loose clothes. It just, I don't know. It seems sort of weird. It seems almost offensive to say, let's create and again, I know there are people right now who are excited about this because they have a granddaughter or whatever that is on the spectrum and they think it's going to be good. It's going to make her feel included. And I agree with all that. I'm just talking about the creation of the doll. It makes you say, this is what, quote, they or people with that disability look like this.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. There's something about that says, you talk about an us and them thing. It's like we want to create a doll for them. I know, I understand. Not everybody has the same challenges, but there's a part of me that says, I don't even like saying the word disability.
Right.
I don't know. I never know anymore where you're supposed to, what you're allowed to say. I don't know. I don't know what the things are.
Yeah.
Except I always feel like whatever I'm going to say is wrong.
And at the same time, if you were a parent who had a child who was on the autism spectrum, I totally understand the desire for them to not feel left out of everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To have things that represent the way they experience the world. Yeah,
totally. This is way off, but it applies to something else you and I talked about off the air.
What's that?
And it's something that, the American Girl dolls, right?
Yeah.
When the American Girl dolls all came out, they were all little white girls. Not a lot of Indian girls or Native American, whatever. Not a lot of African American, not a lot of Hispanic. They branched out into that.
I don't know how long it took them to get to the dolls that represented, other parts of American culture, American history, and American culture.
I'd have to look that up. I mean, our girls had American Girl dolls. It was easy by then to have, a blonde, in Caroline's case, a blonde hair, blue eyed American Girl doll.
Yeah.
Your case, dark hair, dark eye daughter.
There's still one in a closet at my house. There's more than one.
Really? Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And yet, something we talked about at Christmas time, I'm just going to say it the way I'm thinking it, okay? If we're going to edit this out, then I'll edit it out. The Black Santa. Having a Black Santa is a really interesting conversation. Black children, I know it makes me uncomfortable, but it makes me uncomfortable. I know you can say brown now. Black children, brown children, they don't have, lore is that Santa Claus is white. And so Santa Claus is like the white giver of gifts, creepily comes into your house against with no open door. Or if you don't have a chimney, you do say, he just comes in the front door. What? What? Hold on, what? Anyway. So,
leave the door open?
I know, it's so weird. It was so weird. We didn't have, when the kids were little, when I was little, we had a chimney. And so it's like, this thing is going to crawl down. And I'm sure I bought it even early on, but probably did for a little bit.
I don't think I ever believed in Santa.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, be careful of people listening. But I would say...
I'm not saying I don't now.
Yeah, right.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Santa was always white. And then it's kind of weird for a black kid or black person to say, you take your kid to see the Santa and there's Santa and you got to sit in the white gift giver's lap and tell him what you want to be given.
Mm-hmm.
It's just odd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you do have kids that have been told it is this,
Mm-hmm.
and then but oh wait a minute, that doesn't look anything like what I thought Santa. So I think the best thing to do next year, we have a whole year to get ready, is to say that all of these guys are Santa's helpers.
Oh, yeah.
They're not really Santa.
Look at you taking care of everything.
That way you can say you have some brown ones, you could have some black ones, you could have some white ones if you had to, and everybody could, feel good and participate if that's important. But I don't know. Or just tell kids the truth between now and then. Don't worry about it.
Half of Americans are now reporting that they're deliberately spending less time on screens. And you know who's leading the charge?
Scott Wilder.
Gen Z.
Really?
No, I can't imagine it's Scott Wilder. I still think you're spending a good amount of time on a screen, aren't you?
Yeah, a couple hours off a day.
Baby television,
Baby
and
TV.
all.
But I also listen. I've said it before. I also listen to it a lot. I mean, it's like I listen when I'm driving.
Oh, I listen
to
a lot
the news,
too.
so it's always on. But I don't look at it. I don't look at it as much. I listen to it a lot. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the weird thing about Gen Z driving this shift is because they're the ones who grew up with smartphones basically as extensions of their hands. And now 63% of them are intentionally unplugging. That's the highest rate of any generation that was surveyed. This is kind of weird. Millennials followed at 57%, then Gen X at 42%, and baby boomers at 29%. But I'm kind of wondering if that's because now we're baby boomers. Like I'm right on the
sure.
on the
You're in there, I'm in there.
the first year of the baby boomers. But then
You mean real quick, just to be clear, you mean the last year of the baby boomers?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Don't people think you were born in 46?
No. I'm in the last year of the baby boomers.
Go
what
ahead.
I meant, I was thinking, never mind.
I got you.
But I'm wondering if really that's because there is not that much that we have to let go of, that we just haven't adopted.
You're saying that the baby boomers are good about not staying on the screens. Is that what you're saying? Was that what the 29% means?
No.
Or we give it up less?
We're giving it up less.
Okay,
and
now,
only 29% of us are saying that we're spending consciously making a choice to spend less time on our screens. But I think part of what this is, now when Gen Z says they're spending less time on their screens, think of all the things that they use their screens for. Note taking. I mean, if they have a journal, it very likely might be a journal that they use in the notes app of their phone. Their calendar, more than likely, is on their phone. And that I don't know about everybody who's a baby boomer.
I think those statistics are really interesting because you say only 29% of boomers have decreased their screen time. But if you have, like you said before, if a certain category is on the screen 23 hours a day and decreases it by a lot, but if a boomer is on for 4 hours a day and decreases it almost not at all, you still have the amount of time that boomers would be on to be far less. That's
exactly what I mean. If 84% of Americans are reporting that they've now adopted an analog lifestyle, and that includes 32% writing in notebooks, 31% reading printed books, 28% using paper calendars to create boundaries screens can't provide. I do all that anyway. I write in a notebook. I just bought a new paper calendar, and I'm reading an actual book that I hold in my hands right now. None of that was a conscious decision to spend less time on a screen. That's just what I do.
There's another group we didn't talk about, and that is the Great Generation.
Yeah.
My mom is part of the Great Generation, 92. And it's funny. One of my sons, Chris, was in town with a holiday, and my mother, his gran, was filling out her new paper calendar. And Chris asked her, "Do you write everything on there?" And she said, "Yes, I write everything on the calendar." And he said, "How far back does your collection of calendars go?" And it was funny. I don't know this. I haven't found them. See, I'm 64. I was baptized in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't surprise me at all to have a calendar from that year with the Sunday that I was baptized written on the calendar.
Isn't that something?
So my mom does sort of use it. We talked about it before. My mom sort of uses it as like a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Look back at the year and you can see what was going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a lot to write in there. You can't get them all in the little square.
Well, our kids will probably have all that. It'll just be all in the clouds somewhere.
I know. But the thing is, doesn't that stuff really all go away? It's like we have all these pictures, and some of the pictures you really love are the ones that are actually in the room where you're sitting.
Sure.
You have better ones. You have more ones
Thousands.
on your phone, thousands. But the ones, it's like print those out or something.
Yeah.
It's not enough to have them. If we don't look at them, it doesn't matter.
We got my mother-in-law one of those, a digital frame.
Where everybody from afar puts pictures in.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has taken to that more than anyone I've ever seen with that. My mom has one too. I think it's on sometimes, but it's not on all the time. And I don't, we just, because it didn't seem like something she was as into, I think we just kind of stopped sending
Adding
photos
stuff.
to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But my mother-in-law loves that thing. We all have the app, and you can see when, she'll take pictures of birds out the window and put them on her frame, and then we all get to see them. And it's just kind of a reminder.
So you all see her frame? You all can access what's on her frame?
We can all see
nice.
see the new photos that have been added to the frame.
I see what you mean.
We don't
as
see
they're
them
added.
like
Gotcha.
we don't see the display, but
let me
we
ask-
see what everybody adds to it.
My guess is that she has a place where that frame is that is in her field of view all the time.
It is right next to the chair where she sits and watches, among other things, the Dallas Mavericks
I'm a big
and the
fan.
Dallas Cowboys, but the Dallas Mavericks predominantly. Where
That's-
she does her puzzles and she does her coloring and all of those things. And all of the pictures of all of the kids and grandkids are on the still photos, like you were talking about, the printed out photos. All on the shelf right below the television.
See, I think if I had a place where I always sat, I have it here at the studio, but I have equipment here in front of me, and there's really no room here for something like that. But if I had something like that, a place where I was always sitting for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, or all the time, which if it's in your house and you're always there, you're retired or whatever, then that'd be something. Yeah, my mom has one of those too.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the new food pyramid. Did you used to? Let me go back a little bit. When you were in school, when you were a kid, like in elementary school in health class, did you used to learn about the food pyramid?
Sure. Yeah.
And I remember worksheets where we'd have to fill out, what was at the top.
There
and
were
what
five.
Was
There
in
were 5 food groups.
The 5 food groups, yes. Which I know later you tried to convince me that that preservatives was one of the
salt.
Yeah.
Salt is one.
Yeah.
Preservatives is one. Sugar is one.
Yeah. You were trying to brainwash me. It worked. I mean, it worked for a while. Yeah.
Those are not the things, though. So it used to be dairy, grains or bread, fruits, vegetables, and meat.
Yeah, and it was all arranged in the pyramid. I remember changing every once in a while too, and it was arranged in order of how much of those things you were supposed to eat on any given day. Difference now is the federal dietary guidelines elevate protein, dairy, and healthy fats to the top of a redesigned food pyramid.
Gosh.
It's a shift that has drawn, as you can imagine, a mixed reaction from nutrition experts.
But isn't it fun? Because how long did we live with this idea of plant-based oils was the way to go? And now we're all coming back to tallow and all kinds of things. And that's the kind of thing that I think you're talking about.
Coming back to it, but it's still in moderation.
Oh, sure,
it's
of course.
Still supposed to be healthy fats less than
Real
10% of your, less than 10% of one's daily calories.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that is different, it talks a lot about red meat. We've been told for years and years and years to limit red meat, but the shift to protein to more protein, elevating protein has, more
red meat.
Red meat included in that. Fruits and vegetables still emphasized. The main thing, though, is avoiding added sugar. avoiding processed foods.
Yep, I know.
Our reliance on processed foods and eating things that aren't considered real food.
Right.
It's a health crisis. It's considered a health crisis in this country.
Yeah, but it may not be real, but it's real good.
It is. I mean, isn't a Cheeto
taste.
real? I mean, if it's right here in my hand, how much
real.
more real?
It's not
how much more
make-believe.
real could it be?
It's real good.
It is real good. Well, the message is simple. Eat real food.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the letter from U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
Secretary Brooke L. Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
We must return to the basics. We've got to prioritize diets built on whole, nutrient-dense food, and that's protein, dairy, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and whole grains.
Yeah.
We've got to, as we said, have a dramatic reduction in highly processed foods, which are full of refined carbohydrates, added sugars, excess sodium, unhealthy fats, and chemical additives. That doing all of that can literally change the health trajectory that we're on. And one of the things that this is being praised for is it's all in a 10-page document. That's a dramatic shift from the way these things have been presented before. It's very simple. And it's like, we're joking about the Cheetos. How do you know if it's bad? You know if it's bad for you.
Sure. Yeah,
You know
for
it's
sure.
bad for
Yeah,
you.
that's right.
What really kind of was such a surprise to me, and it never should have been. Before I started trying to eat a more healthy diet, I've eaten more vegetables in the last 5 years than I probably ate in the previous
Your whole life.
the previous 50 plus
Really?
years of
Gotcha.
my life.
For you.
And since I've made that shift, I really do find myself utilizing the outer walls of the grocery store.
Sure, yeah, it changes.
And that's what I always heard.
It's good, yeah, it's good.
Do the most of your shopping on the outer walls of the grocery store. You'll find yourself with you're around the perimeter
Fruits
of the
and
grocery
vegetables,
store.
dairy,
Fruits,
meats.
vegetables, fresh meat, all of
eggs,
the things. Exactly.
cheese, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it really is true.
That's true.
And I mean, I knew all that before, but it was just hard to make that shift from the things that I felt like tasted really good, and maybe we're a little bit more comfort food, or who knows.
Yeah, but it's good. The stuff on the edges is good.
It is really
Yeah,
good. It is very good. One more thing while we're talking about food.
Yeah.
America is falling out of love with pizza.
Is that true? I just had pizza like over the weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Sales are slowing for food
interesting.
delivery pizza.
Oh, there you
Think
go.
about it for a second. Pizza chains are struggling for years and years and years. If you wanted to have something delivered, if you wanted to have food delivered, all you could really get was pizza.
So you're saying the popularity of pizza was because it was the only thing that was delivered in the olden times.
That had a lot to do with it. And now we can basically get
gotcha.
anything delivered.
With
We
the
don't have
DoorDash and
to.
whatnot,
Yeah, you don't have to
That's
just
interesting.
have pizza anymore. So
Dang.
pizza is disrupted
Oh, no.
right now. That's according to the president at Papa John's International. Yeah, so they've pizzerias filing bankruptcy all over the place. The novelty of pizza delivery, not a big deal anymore. So pizza makers are struggling to figure out next steps. How do they maintain our love affair with pizza?
Yeah. Well, let me combine these last two topics. We have the food pyramid in pizza, right? The food pyramid is telling us what we're supposed to eat, right? But for me, the food pyramid always looked like a slice of pizza. So
it's kind of the best way to look at the food pyramid.
that is the Wilder Show podcast. This one, anyway. Instagram. Find us on Instagram if you want. There, search Wilder Show Pod, and we're right there on Instagram. If you want to send us email, just do that by sending your email to podcast@wildershow.com. Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on the TikTok now and again. So like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And Lauren, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. dun.